Well, hello everybody. How's everybody doing? Um, this will be something new. This will be something new for everybody and for me. I'm going to start roller skating tutorials, and this is going to be part one of my roller skate dancing tutorials. What I want to do, and there's going to be different parts of these, but today we're going to start out with number one. The number one thing is when you start roller skating. If you're new to roller skating, what you want to do is the first thing, it's very, very important. The first thing you want to do is make sure if you have a pair of roller skates or if you're buying a new pair of roller skates, when you buy a new pair of roller skates and you never skated before, make sure your skates are comfortable. Make sure they're comfortable for you. Make sure that they're the right size for you. You can even have like quads like the kind I wear or rollerblades, one of the two. It doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with, but make sure that they're the right size and you're comfortable with those skates. Very, very important. And another thing, make sure even if you have your own skates, make sure they're tightened. Even when you have brand new ones, make sure they're tightened. Very, very important. Because you're putting wheels, you have wheels under your feet. You got to make sure that they're tightened and they're well maintained. You can go like if you're kids, make sure you have your parents make sure they're tight, and your stoppers, your wheels, your trucks, everything is tight before you even start. If you're at a skating rink, the guy behind the skate rental will gladly check your skates for you for safety. Always safety. Make sure everything's tightened before you start. That's very, very important when you're starting as a roller skater, or if you're a roller skater, advanced roller skater like me. You got to make sure that everything's tight. You can't just get out there, because you just never know. You got to protect yourself and make sure everything's tight because you don't want to get hurt. It doesn't matter what you could be an advanced skater and anybody could fall. So anybody's vulnerable fall. We're all vulnerable with wheels under our feet. We weren't born with wheels under our feet. So you got to be careful. Another thing you have to do is make sure your laces are tight. Make sure your laces are tight on your skates. It's very, very, very important. Because if they're not tightened, and you let them flap around and you get them under your wheels, that's going to create a problem. You're going to fall. You might break a wrist, and fall and hurt somebody else. There's a number of things you could do. So falling and hit your head, everything. It's dangerous. So you want to make sure that your laces are tight. That's the very first thing that you have to do. The first thing you have to do is make sure they're tight and the wheels are tight and everything's comfortable, and then your laces are good, tied. Make sure all that is very important. And like I said, you go what you're comfortable with. What you want to do is, I'll get into working on forward in my next tutorial. I'll show you guys a proper way that I learned to go forward. So that'll be in tomorrow's video. But these are the steps that you should know. Number one, you make sure your skates are comfortable on your feet. Make sure that they're the right kind of skates for you. Make sure that your wheels are tight. Your stoppers are tight. Everything's tight because, like I said, you got wheels under your feet. We're all vulnerable with wheels under our feet. So that's very, very important. Make sure your laces are tied good. And if they flap around, then you're going to fall and you're going to get hurt badly with them laces out. So make sure your laces are tight at all times. Like I said, we'll work on, the next step we'll be working on forward. We'll work on forward in my next tutorial. Once you get comfortable with all that stuff, we'll work on balance, and we'll work on, balance is very important, what you have to work on. Your balance is very, very important. So that'll be the next thing in my next tutorial tomorrow. So we'll work on balance. Will be the first thing. Balance is the key, you know. But you have to do all the stuff that I mentioned. That's very important before you start roller skating. Very, very important. So then you can have fun. But next video I'll get into balance, trying to keep balance. So I'll show everybody the proper way. So hey, this is part 1 of my tutorial. So stay tuned for part 2. Everybody have a good one. Thanks for your support. Bye-bye.